Hello, everyone. This is Shella's Lens, and today we will be discussing in our fundraising cycle course, building multiple revenue sources, and we are going to focus on tools today. This is another focus area that can become numerous chapters. If you prefer to have everything in one place, then I encourage you to download this 45-page handbook that will cover 15 different revenue strategies that your nonprofit can use. The link is in the course list. Introduction. The Compassion Capital Fund, administered by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, provided capacity building grants to expand and strengthen the role of nonprofit organizations in their ability to provide social services to low-income individuals. Between 2002 and 2009, CCF awarded 1,277 grants, and the CCF National Resource Center provided training and technical assistance to all CCF grantees. Strengthening nonprofits. A capacity builders resource library is born out of the expansive set of resources created by the National Resource Center during that time period, to be shared and to continue the legacy of CCF's capacity building work. Strengthening nonprofits. A capacity builders resource library contains guidebooks and e-learning on the following topics: conducting a community assessment, delivering training and technical assistance, designing and managing a sub-award program, going virtual, identifying and promoting effective practices, leading a nonprofit organization, tips and tools for executive directors and team leaders, managing crisis, risk management and crisis planning, managing public grants, measuring outcomes, partnerships, frameworks for working together, sustainability, working with consultants, audience. Anyone who is interested in expanding the capacity of nonprofit services in their community, from front-line service providers to executives in large intermediary organizations, will benefit from the information contained in this resource library. The National Resource Center originally developed many of these resources for intermediary organizations that were granted funds by CCF to build the capacity of faith-based and community-based organizations they served. As such, the majority of the resources in Strengthening Nonprofits, a Capacity Builders Resource Library, support intermediary organizations in their capacity building efforts. However, funders of capacity building programs, federal program offices and foundations, and the nonprofit community, including FBCOs at large, will also find these resources helpful. In addition, individuals working to build capacity within a program or an organization will be able to use these resources to support their efforts to implement change and make improvements. The Building Multiple Revenue Sources Guidebook will be helpful to any nonprofit seeking to learn about new sources of revenue and how to pursue them. Developer. The guidebook was originally developed by the National Resource Center with assistance from Paul Edwards. It was updated in 2010 for the Department of Health and Human Services by the National Resource Center. Purpose: the tools, resources, and knowledge included in this guidebook will help you to raise more money through targeted development strategies that are catered to your organization's unique stage of development, strengths, and community resources. This was not written by me. I have obtained this guidebook for you from Nonprofit Ready. The direct link to the source can be found here. And there's the link. I will also encourage you to use the multiple resources available to you on Nonprofit Ready. And now we begin. This is the beginning of cover of that very document that we discussed. This is building multiple revenue resources. Today, we will cover up through, hold on a second. We will cover up until revenue development process. So, introduction, the Compassion Capital Fund administered by, we just read that. Let's scroll past this. We already read this. Here we go. Overview. It is usually a safe bet to assume that a nonprofit organization would like to increase its revenue and acquire more funds. High performing nonprofit organizations foster a culture of constant improvement and regularly ask, how can we grow and sustain increasing levels of income? There are a number of different income growth strategies that nonprofit organizations can use to generate much needed revenue, and each strategy comes at a different price. While some revenue sources are easy to implement and require little technical expertise, others might be perfectly suited for the missions and strengths of your organization, yet require a more significant investment. This guidebook provides an overview of 15 different revenue sources, insight into how online tools can help support revenue development, a step-by-step guide to developing a new revenue source, and analysis tools to help you assess your organization's strengths and limitations. After reading this guidebook, you will know how to evaluate, start, and sustain one or more new income or revenue sources. Ideally, the tools, resources, and knowledge included in this guidebook will enable you to raise more money through the development of targeted strategy that caters to your organization's stage of development, strengths, and community assets. Some of the foundational terms and phrases used referenced throughout the guidebook are defined below. Our terms indicate in bold throughout the text are defined in the glossary found in Appendix B. Financial resources. The various assets of your organization, from actual cash, property, and inventory to your staff and volunteers, goodwill, reputation, constituent base, board members, and partners of your organization. Income strategy. The direction you will take in the coming 12 months to generate more income, whether contributed, earned, or some other form. Organizations can choose to raise cash from existing revenue sources, raise cash from a new source, form an alliance or partnership with an organization that brings cash, or form an alliance or partnership with an organization that brings in-kind resources. Matching. The value of cash, in-kind, and other contributions contributed by non-federal third parties. Revenue source. A discrete income source with its own characteristics and requirements. It can be earned income or unearned income. Each of 15 discrete income streams is called a revenue source. These definitions will gain meaning as you read through the revenue and development process, apply the income strategies, and evaluate the revenue sources for your potential use. Revenue sources. Through the course of this guidebook, we will reference 15 different types of revenue sources, including annual or sustained gifts, major gifts, planned gifts, foundation grants, cause-related marketing, corporate giving programs, earned income activities, unrelated business income, in-kind donations, supporting organizations, benefit events, state and local municipalities, churches and denominations, federated funds, and online donations. Annual or sustained gifts. Annual or sustained gift programs include one or more fundraising programs that generate sustainable gift support or an annual or more frequent basis. Annual programs acquire donor names using an offer communicated through advertisements on radio, television, direct mail lists, email lists, phone lists, etc. When a donor has given at least twice, they are considered a sustaining donor. Organizations may cultivate annual or sustained gift programs through direct mail, the internet, monthly donors, affinity or club programs, honor or memorial giving, telethons, etc. For example, National Public Radio conducts membership campaigns throughout the year, recruiting new and returning members both on the air and through the website. Major gifts. Major gifts, often from an individual, are large, with the amount required to qualify as a major gift determined by the receiving organization. Prospect names are identified through screening of annual supporter lists, list rentals, personal referrals, and public relations events. Prospective donors of major gifts are qualified through electronic and personal screening, and usually cultivated for a period of time before formal solicitation. Asking for a major gift usually involves negotiation between an organizational representative and the donor. Many major gifts include restriction for use and may involve a pledge or a letter of intent for the funds, as well as require personalized recognition. For example, the John L. and Helen Kellogg Foundation donated $10 million to the business school at Northwestern University. And as recognition of his major gift, the school was renamed Kellogg School of Management. Planned gifts. A planned gift is a large gift from a person given in the event of his or her death. The process of planned giving is structured, integrating sound personal, financial, and estate planning concepts with the prospect's plans for lifetime and testamentary giving. A planned gift has tax implications and is often transmitted through a legal instrument such as a will or a trust. Examples of planned giving instruments include pooled income funds, charitable remainder trusts, insurance gifts, lead trusts, bequests, etc. Foundation grants. A foundation is an organization created from designated funds from which grants are distributed to not-for-profit organizations, or in some cases, to people. A grant is a financial donation given to support a person, organization, project, or program. Most grants require research by the organization's staff and submission of an application. Grants are awarded to nonprofit organizations according to the foundation's specific guidelines, limitations, and assets. For example, the Open Meadows Foundation supports domestic and international projects that are led by and benefit women and girls, particularly those from vulnerable communities. The foundation supports projects that reflect the diversity of the community served by the project, promote building community power, and encourage racial, social, economic, and environmental justice. Cause-related marketing. Cause-related marketing is an agreement between a for-profit organization and a nonprofit organization in which the for-profit uses the name and reputation of the nonprofit to promote its product. In return, the for-profit corporate partner provides financial support to the nonprofit, adding to a predetermined formula based on sales and purchases. For example, Product Red raises funds by partnering with iconic brands such as Apple and American Express that use the Product Red branding in some of their products and donate a portion of the proceeds to the Global Fund, an organization that fights HIV, AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria around the world. Corporate giving programs. Corporate giving refers to donations by for-profit companies, usually in the form of a grant program that is established as part of the corporation's annual budget and controlled by the corporation. In some corporations, this is separate from the marketing function and from any corporate foundation. Many corporations, such as Walmart and AT&T, have established foundations to provide grants and financial assistance to organizations that align with specific missions furthered by the foundation. Earned income activities. Earned income activities refer to the revenue of a nonprofit organization. Earned income activities refer to the revenue a nonprofit organization receives for product sales, fees for services rendered, interest generated from investments, and royalties generated from owned and copyrighted works. Earned income is derived for activities substantially related to the organization's tax-exempt purpose. An example of earned income activities related to an organization's mission is DC Central Kitchen's Fresh Start catering service. DC Central Kitchen is a nonprofit organization that provides counseling, outreach, and meals to the homeless in the DC area. Fresh Start Catering, a social enterprise of DC Central Kitchen, helps generate revenue to support the nonprofit's efforts by providing catered meals to paying customers. Unrelated business income. Unrelated business income refers to any revenue that is received due to any legal trade or business conducted by a nonprofit organization to make money in a way not directly related to the organization's federally tax-exempt mission. For example, a museum has an auditorium that it uses to show educational films in connection with its mission. They also use the auditorium to show motion pictures to the public when the museum is closed. This use is defined by the IRS as unrelated business income. See IRS Publication 598, Tax on Unrelated Business Income of Tax-Exempt Organizations, for more details. In-kind donations. In-kind donations refer not to money, but to donations of goods, of services, such as the contribution of equipment, inventory, supplies, space, or staff time. The donor may place a monetary value on such a contribution for tax purposes. For example, an electronics company might donate laptop computers to an after-school program serving youth in highly impoverished areas. Supporting organizations. A supporting organization is a qualified charity operated, supervised, or controlled by or in connection with one or more specified public charities. Supporting organizations include groups such as an auxiliary association, friends group, or other nonprofit organization. For example, the American Legion Auxiliary, the nation's largest women's patriotic service group, was originally founded in 1919 to help support the efforts of the American Legion, the nation's largest veteran service organization. Benefit events. Benefit events are social events from which net proceeds are designated as a donation to one or more causes. Examples include races, balls, carnivals, bazaars, galas, concerts, etc. For example, the National Guard Youth Foundation holds an annual challenge, Champions Gala. That's funny spelling. A formal event to honor and raise funds for the National Guard Youth Challenge program. State and local municipalities. State and local municipality revenue sources refer to funds that are under the direction and discretion of a non-federal agency. These sources can include state grants, local municipality grants, and in-kind services, allocations of federal block grants to state or municipality agency under a federal authority, and state and municipal bonding authorities. Churches and denominations. Churches and denominations will often collect cash and in-kind contributions from a local church, church foundation, denominational officer, or church-run service agency. Ministerial associations, regional trans-denominational organizations, and associations like the National Association of Evangelicals or the National Council of Churches. Federated funds. Federated funds, also sometimes called community fines, refer to the monies raised for a cooperative group of nonprofits throughout one of several employment-related annual giving campaigns. Examples of federated funds include the United Way, Combined Federal Campaign, and Combined Health Appeal. Online donations. Online donors use web-based tools to make contributions. Donors tend to give online because it is a fast and simple way to offer support to an organization. Some donors have existing relationships with the organizations and substitute a direct mail donation with an online donation. Other donors use the web to search for organizations in their communities or around the world that have missions and goals they want to support. Successful online donation campaigns have been linked to the use of social media marketing tools such as blogging, podcasting, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, messaging boards, blogging, and wikis. For most nonprofit organizations, online giving currently represents a small percentage of their total fundraising revenue. However, given the fast pace of technology integration into our daily lives, we can expect that online donations will continue to grow. Now, granted, this was published, oh wait, sorry, it says 2020 there, never mind. One study projects that by 2020, oh yeah, so it is old. So yeah, I don't know that this is still current, some of the things they're just saying here, because it sounds like this is from 2010. So obviously online giving has changed considerably in the last 13 years. So this might be a higher percentage than it was back in 2010. So I just wanted to suggest that. All right, going back to the narrative. One study projects that by 2020, online donations will be the majority donor source if nonprofits invest the time and resources into establishing a strong website presence, which, like I said, Most likely, this is probably pretty common for a lot of nonprofits, although I do know there are some that are less useful of their own websites, or they may not even have a website. So it's not entirely across the full landscape, but yeah, it's definitely improving. Appendix C lists resources to learn more about establishing an integrated online giving and social media marketing strategy. More about online tools to enhance fundraising. Using Web 2.0 tools can be a powerful way to raise funds as they empower supporters, both inside and outside of your organization, to raise money for you. Web 2.0 tools allow staff to make use of their personal networks and reach people with whom you may otherwise not have had contact. The web also enables your supporters to customize and personalize their own messaging. Additionally, web tools allow for easy reporting and information gathering on your donors. You can easily track who gave money, how much, and when. And the web is great for bringing attention to mini fundraising campaigns based around a specific project or event. The web's capacity for real-time donation tracking and viral marketing make it a great tool for fundraising. Using the web, your supporters can create personal appeals to raise money for your organization. You might hear this concept referred to as citizen philanthropy or viral fundraising. Some examples of Web 2.0 tools for use in enhancing fundraising include causes on Facebook, Network for Good, Alumni Fidelity, wow, I can't read today, First Giving, Global Giving, and Blackbaud. Refer to the 2.0 Web 2.0 tool report card in Appendix D for detailed ratings of the cost, key benefits, drawbacks, security, and usability of these 6 tools. Causes on Facebook, Network for Good, Alumni Fidelity, and First Giving are explored in greater detail below. Appendix C offers additional resources for learning about online donations and social media for marketing and fundraising. Causes on Facebook. Facebook causes are a great tool for quickly generating word of mouth about your organization. Because the average age of a Facebook user is 26, wonder if that's still true. The site is a great way to reach young adults. It's also great for spreading word about your cause, but it is less effective for raising funds. You will need a Facebook account to create a cause, and then they give you the website link of https://apps.facebook.com/causes. In establishing a cause, you can enter your mission and designate an organization you'd like your donations to go to. As long as an organization is a registered nonprofit with the IRS, it can receive donations through causes on Facebook. Facebook's interface allows users to like or become a fan for your cause, which requires no commitment or monetary donation. This is an easy way for people to simply show that they support what your group stands for. Facebook's news feed feature will also publish a line item noting that a user has become a fan of your cause. This will be visible to the user's entire network of Facebook friends. You may find a ripple effect is created more and more as more and more people learn about your group through their own connections. This viral quality makes Facebook a useful tool for recruiting volunteers. Explore various cause pages for yourself to discover additional features, donation and membership tracking tools, and ways to spread the word. You can search causes by category, including arts and culture, education, environment, human services, and public advocacy, among others. Network for Good. Network for Good is a simple to use as no organizational registration is necessary, and a user can create a fundraising campaign in under 10 minutes. The site offers some basic tools that make fundraising easy. A Donate Now button can be placed on your page, giving users one place to click to make a donation. And an Email Now button offers an easy outreach tool for contacting supporters. This site also features a section called Fundraising 123, which includes trainings and webinars to help you learn how to effectively raise money. Network for Good is connected to GuideStar, a database for all registered nonprofits that draws information directly from the IRS. As long as your organization's information is up to date with the IRS, supporters will be able to search and find you on Network for Good and send donations directly to your group. Network for Good also draws you to create charity badges, customizable widgets that share information and collect donations. The badges share basic information about a cause using one image, 250 characters of text, and a video. Once you've created your badge by walking through the steps on Network for Good site, you can post it anywhere on the web by using an HTML code. You can paste this code into emails, evites, or web invitations. MySpace pages, wow, this really is old. MySpace, okay, sorry. Or anywhere else that accepts HTML. You will be provided with a unique web address for your badge. You can paste this link into emails, onto Facebook, etc. By clicking on it, users will be taken to a site that only has your charity badge on it. The badge also tracks donations and number of donors in real time. Alumni Fidelity is a site originally created to help schools increase alumni donations. Has now assisted hundreds of fundraising campaigns in raising a combined total of more than 1 million. Nonprofit supporters can also use the site to raise funds for campaigns or events. Alumni Fidelity offers more customization and personalization than Facebook or Network for Good. Its fundraising pages are ideal for events like an annual campaign, and the page is often used with charity runs and walks. It usually takes about 1 week to set up a page on Alumni Fidelity, and the site charges 7 to 7% fee. That might actually be different now, so you might want to check that. On all donations to cover administrative costs. However, after you've registered your organization on Alumni Fidelity, supporters can create a page to fundraise for you, changing the page branding to match that of your organization. The site also features prominent donate buttons, allowing you to share your cause via email. It manages your contacts and communication with your supporters. First Giving. First Giving offers simple tools for your supporters to set up online fundraising pages. The site features helpful tools such as resources, frequently asked questions, reports on donation activities, and charts tracking funds raised. The easy-to-use site walks users and nonprofits step by step through the process of setting up a fundraising page. As with Network for Good, First Giving is connected to GuideStar, which means that as long as your organization is a registered nonprofit with the IRS, supporters will automatically be able to find you on First Giving's website. A supporter of your organization or cause can create an online fundraising page with your organization's name and logo. Supporters can personalize their page with a photo, video, and text description about the organization or their personal connection to it. If supporters have a Flickr account, they can link to it and display slideshows with additional photos. Now, I'm guessing a lot of these things that we've been talking about might have new perks available that this obviously does not have included because it's a bit old. The facts that they are presenting are helpful and accurate, but the tools they're listing may not necessarily be 100% accurate with what's available at this point in time. So you do want to check into these and see what's available. I know Network for Good is still quite active, so definitely check into that, but you might have more tools available through their sites than what's listed here. I just wanted you to pay attention to that because it might be more, or maybe some of these have changed completely. It's something to look into. Okay. A supporter of your organization or cause can create, oh, did I read this? No, I didn't. I don't think. A supporter of your organization or cause can create an online fundraising page with your organization's name and logo. Supporters can personalize their page with a photo, video, and text description about the, oh, I think I did read this. Yes, I did. You can use First Giving to set a fundraising target, and your page will show real-time updates on your progress. Your supporters can donate directly through your page, but First Giving also allows you to track and enter donations you've received online. So your page reflects an accurate total of all money that you've collected. Before implementing any tool, you'll need to identify your organization's needs, as well as the needs of the people who will use it, such as your organization's volunteers or partners. Consider whether consultants, clients, or even your board of directors will be impacted by your decision to use a web fundraising tool. These people are your key stakeholders. I would also take into consideration your demographic of donors. Make sure whatever you're using is something that will be easy for them to use and something that they're comfortable with and possibly even already familiar with. So just try to keep that in mind with your particular target donor base. Managing change, this is the fun part, when adopting Web 2.0 fundraising tools. Organizations must be sensitive to managing change when choosing and adopting a Web 2.0 tool to enhance fundraising. Consider the following, kind of like what I was just saying. How will you communicate your decision to your stakeholders? Should you have an in-person meeting, or is email communication sufficient? How will you train staff or volunteers to use the web fundraising tool? How much time will you need to invest? And who is the best person to lead a training effort? What will be your plan for ongoing maintenance of the tool? How much time will be required, and what regular content updates will need to be made to keep supporters coming back? Once your organization has selected and begun using a web fundraising tool, you'll want to evaluate its effectiveness. Most of the tools reviewed here track visitors to your fundraising site and provide data on donations you are receiving. Talking to your staff and volunteers and gathering their opinions on the tool will also help you gauge how useful and meaningful it is to your organization. Keep these tools in mind as you review the revenue development process and assess ways to improve your organization's fundraising abilities. Refer to Appendix C for more information on Web 2 tools and their usability. Now, this is where we will stop for today. We will continue next time with the revenue development process. So now those who are in the class, you will then go to the discussion. As we've discussed before, you see this little forum tab here. You're going to answer these questions in there. We won't go there today, but I just wanted you to be reminded of that. Okay, building multiple revenue sources discussion. This is a large category. In the forum, describe what aspects you intend to address with your nonprofit and what steps you will take. Identify which ones you are currently actively doing and which ones you will start. If there are some that you can't or won't do, explain why that is not an option for you. These are the categories. Refer to the guide for specific aspects to discuss. Now, today we have only gone through part of this guidebook, so you won't be able to answer all of these questions today, so you don't necessarily need to answer these right away. You can wait until we have finished the full guidebook and then go through and do this discussion. But I will go ahead and read through these right now just so you're aware of what to think about as you're going through the guidebook. All right, so these are the categories. Conducting a community assessment, delivering training and technical assistance, designing and managing a sub-award program, going virtual, identifying and promoting effective practices, leading a nonprofit organization, tips and tools for executive directors and team leaders, managing crisis, risk management, and crisis response planning, managing public grants, measuring outcomes, partnerships, frameworks for working together, sustainability, working with consultants and audience. So anyway, you don't need to worry about anything on that today, but I just wanted to kind of point those out to you. And I hope this was helpful. I know it's a lot of information. This particular course is loaded with a lot of very deep, complex in some cases, but extremely important information that will help your nonprofit have a much more successful fundraising cycle. And unfortunately, the fundraising cycle is a ball you cannot afford to drop. You need to stay on top of this, and you need to definitely know every tool and every possible factor that you need to take into consideration in order to keep your organization strong, healthy, and financially viable so that you can continue to do the work that you are doing, which is so important. So with that, I will call it the end of class, and I look forward to speaking with you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.